G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. Hope you're ready for another cocktail. There's a lot of traditional cocktail ingredients, but how do you feel about moonshine? Because I was looking at a calendar of, days declared to be particular things, and June 5th by some people has been declared Moonshine Day, which I find really humorous. The generally accepted definition of moonshine is an unaged spirit. Usually you've gone through the preparation stages that you would for a whiskey, but you're not aging the spirit, and it's moonshine. Of course, in the US, it has its whole legacy with the illegal distillers, and it's illicitly white lightning spread around the world. But there are actually a lot of commercial products you can get that are unaged spirits that technically are moonshine. They may or may not be called moonshine. There's a couple of beverages in Australia that are actually called moonshine. For instance, there's also in Ireland they have Poitín, which is essentially unaged Irish whiskey, so it's Irish moonshine. I am going to mark Moonshine Day with this little treat, Pacific Moonshine. This is made by the Cape Byron Distillery in New South Wales, Australia. In the midst of 2020's COVID lockdown, their friends at the Stone and Wood Beer Brewery had a whole bunch of beer that was scheduled to go to pubs, but was never going to reach pubs because of lockdowns. All the pubs were shut, and this beer was going to go to waste. And so they said to their friends at the Cape Byron Distillery, can we do something with it? And the initial thought was we could turn it into hand sanitizer. Everyone's talking about distilleries making hand sanitizer. We could do that. But then I thought, yeah, now that's boring. Let's do something else. So they came up with this, the Pacific Moonshine. This has been distilled from Stone and Wood beer that would have otherwise gone to waste. It's got great notes in it. They're saying it's tropical, salty, like your first post-surf sip. Pacific Moonshine is the love child born of a pandemic, artfully distilled from kegs of Pacific Ale. This strange little sipper bursts with flavors of tropical fruits, fresh pineapple, lychee, passion fruit, and mango. They say use it in a highball, a tiki cocktail, or simply mixed with your favorite ginger beer. It's a nice drink. What I found with this and other moonshines is they can be a tad harsh to just drink, but they do tend to make really good mixes. And this one is a very good mixer. I've tried a mixer, and when I got it, and I got it delivered to me, they included a little recipe card. This is what they call a New Moon Mai Tai. And so, for Moonshine Day, I'm going to make a New Moon Mai Tai. First up, we are going with 30 mils, 1 ounce of our moonshine. Like I said, unless you're in Australia, you probably won't be able to get this particular one, but you can probably find an unaged spirit wherever you are in the world. So for fun, find some moonshine and go with 30 mils. The recipe also calls for 30 mils of macadamia liqueur. This is made in the same distillery, Mac. Absolutely glorious. Again, depending where you are, you may not be able to get it, but there are other macadamia liqueurs around the world and other nut liqueurs. Some are almond liqueurs like amaretto. There's hazelnut liqueurs. If you want to follow along with this, you want a nut liqueur, and we're adding 30 mils or 1 ounce. Now for some juices, we want 30 mils of pineapple juice. There's a lot of argument about fresh versus bottled or canned in this case. I find pineapple to be the most difficult juice to get fresh, and I have this pineapple juice on hand, so I'm going with 30 mils or 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Finally, we're going with 30 mils of orange juice. This I do have fresh squeezed, so we're going with 30 mils or 1 ounce of orange juice. This is a shaken cocktail, so we add ice to our shaker, put it together, bang it in hard, and give this a good solid shake for about 10 seconds. Now I'm going to strain this into a rocks glass with a nice chunk of clear ice in there. Although it's not a particularly clear drink, so the clear ice is kind of wasted, but that's okay. Garnish wise, I was going to put some cherries. I had some Morello cherries, and I was going to put them on a skewer, and I opened the jar and something's gone a bit south with those cherries. It was unpleasant. we shan't talk about the unpleasantness, but if you wanted to do a garnish, maybe a wedge of pineapple and or some cherries would be nice. Because I had the unexpected, unpleasant encounter with some cherries, I won't be doing them in this case. But this is it, our New Moon Mai Tai. Let's give it a taste. That is great. I mean, it's a long way from a traditional Mai Tai, but people do all sorts of things in the name of Mai Tai. You often get orgeat in there, which is why I think they've suggested the nut liqueur in here. But this is an incredibly refreshing drink. Like I said, there's a good chance wherever you are in the world, you would be able to find a local distiller or a nearby distiller, an independent distiller, a craft distillery that has an unaged spirit, because they're usually trying to have a bit of fun. They're often high proof. This one is not that high proof, I don't think. It's only 44% alcohol, about 10% above your normal. Some moonshines will be very sharply alcoholic, so caution is urged in those cases. But yeah, it's always a bit of fun to seek out someone local. I'm not saying go find a toothless hillbilly who is literally distilling this in their back paddock in the dark, because that shit will send you blind. But try it. Find an unaged spirit, something that's going to pass health code regulations moonshine, because it can be a really fun mixer. While, as again, for me personally, I find most unaged spirits are a bit rough to drink straight, but they can make really good mixes, as this one has. And I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you enjoy whatever you're drinking, whether you're drinking along with me or something else. And I hope to see you again soon. So subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Tell your friends and family, blackmail them into joining the crew and joining me on this cocktail adventure. But whatever happens in the meantime, look after yourself, look after people around you. Until I see you again, cheers.